Welcome. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about high raw vegetarian diet. I mean, I guess you could do high raw and still eat some meat. So we'll say high raw diet, which just means the majority of your food is raw food. Currently, I subscribe to high raw vegetarian. So when I say high raw, it's called high raw. So it's not fully raw. That would just be a raw food diet, right? A lot of people will call it raw vegan. You could do raw meat too. I've heard of people that do that diet. But anyway, high raw vegetarian. That's what I'm doing right now. And let's talk about it. Pros, cons. So for the last 2-3 months, I've been doing high raw, high carb, like fruitarian, vegetarian diet. So it's like maybe 2/3 of the day it's only raw fruit, and then the second last meal is like a protein shake, and then the very last meal is like a totally cooked meal: rice, beans, veggies, peas, noodles if you like noodles. So there's so many, I could talk about it for so long. There's so many good aspects that I've found, good outcomes. So many. But I'm gonna keep this really short. Increased energy levels, healthier skin, better concentration. So many. Looking youthful, feeling youthful, losing weight. There's so many benefits. One issue that I came into though was I got into a really bad accident and had to spend the week in bed, and then I was limping, using a cane for like a month. And so whenever I get like really sick or into accidents, I just kind of stop doing my diets and start eating tons of comfort food and stop going for walks and start watching TV all day, because if you can't walk. Anyway, so I gained weight. I gained lots of weight, probably 15 pounds since the accident. And I did not stick to the diet. I tried as hard as I could to stick to it like half the day, Some days I would stick to it fully, but a lot of other days, like say on my weekend or whatever, I would just eat junk food all day. It's pretty bad. But I mean, you get injured, that tends to happen. I'm human. We're all human, right? And it's very easy. And I'm new to this diet too, so it's like a bit of a transition. I was already inching towards being fully vegetarian for a few years. So it totally depends on what you're eating and when you switch to a different diet. And if it's very different, it could be very rough to switch from one diet to a totally different diet. So my switch was not that much different. It was like small, subtle changes. But I noticed huge differences. I can't talk too much about the benefits because I basically kind of stopped doing the diet because of the accident. So like I gained weight. So I don't want to be like, oh, it's easy to lose weight on this diet because I actually gained weight. But it's because of a brutal accident, and I'm very, very lucky that it wasn't worse. Yeah. So anyway, the diet is awesome. For so many years, I've always been like, why can't I just eat raw food? Like, I know it's got to be the healthiest, and I'd even try, I'd be like, I'm just eating only raw food. I even went as far as trying raw eggs many times, and I always felt kind of sick, which is weird because I've seen a lot of like bodybuilders eat raw eggs, but every time I do it, I always feel sick. Maybe I don't have the proper enzymes or something. I don't know. I've tried, organic farm eggs from literally knowing the people. I mean, I don't know them anymore, but I've tried. And then regular farm eggs, regular grocery store eggs too. And they all kind of make me feel sick. So there was that. And then the biggest thing with eating raw is we all think that like you want to do like, cold pressed olive oil and eating a bunch of cucumbers and zucchinis. That would be like raw. The problem with that is it's hard to digest veggies. That's why a lot of people juice vegetables. You can't really eat raw vegetables, like tons and tons of them, or they blend them, some of them, or they juice them. But then you're just eating juice all day. And like, what kind of like carbs and calories are in those anyway, So the key that I found finally, after years of, I never tried too hard with a raw because I just instantly, I was like, okay, so I eat cucumbers all day, like what do you eat, right? It just instantly never worked more than like one day and I'd be done. So the key is fruit. Fruit is way more natural for you to eat fruit than it would be for you to go and find rhubarb and celery and just eat a bunch of rhubarb and celery and live off that. It's clearly like, no, that doesn't sound right. There isn't even calories in celery. So how do you live off that? It's just fiber and water and some minerals. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's crazy, right? So the key is eat fruit. You want to go raw? Eat fruit, tons of fruit. The problem is you never think about it because in our society, we've demonized sugar. So you can't eat sugar all day. You can't eat fruit all day. That would be too much fruit. There's ways to do it that it ends up being very healthy. And a lot of these people actually lose tons of weight eating fruit all day. The thing is, like, when people go fruitarian, they often get very skinny because it's really hard to eat that much fruit. They end up using a lot of blenders because it's just hard to eat that much fruit. Like, if you have to eat 30 bananas in one day, you're going to get sick of it real fast. 30 bananas. That would be a fruitarian diet for one day, 30 bananas. You're going to get sick of that really fast. Like, it's just, ugh. Like, you're full after eating like 3. I am. You feel full, but you have to eat like 6 or 7 or 10 in a meal to have it actually be a good sustaining meal. But it's hard to fit all that banana in your stomach. It's like too much space. So you got to blend them. And anyway, all I'm saying is you want to go raw, the easiest and most natural way to do it, instead of trying to engineer, like a lot of people, raw guys, they do like, they juice a whole stalk of celery, and then they juice like a cucumber, and then spinach and kale, and then they'll put one fruit in because sugar's bad. And then they're drinking this green stuff full of oxalates and other like nasty chemical, like natural toxins, and some of them do really well on it, but it's a massive, super expensive chore to, like, I don't know, eat raw. Unless you're going with fruit, like just eat bananas, Anyway, it's amazing. It feels natural and light. It feels like you're on like a little bit of a cleanse. And you kind of are. Oh, there's so many benefits. I made a list of like 10. I wrote them down, put them on paper over in the next room. I'm going to do more videos on this if I stick to this diet, I'm going to keep talking about it. I might even write a book on it, actually. I might even coach it. But that's way out there. And that's if I stick to it, if I can handle it, One thing I found that drinking a lot of like orange juice, it hurts my gums and my teeth a little bit. My teeth are sensitive. So I I'm trying to not eat anything that's high citric acid. Even though they say it is good for you, you gotta be careful. You don't want to be sipping on you don't want to be sipping on orange juice all day. That acid will erode your enamel. But like if you have a meal and then wait a few hours and then have another meal and swish your mouth with water after, we should be fine. And I found bananas don't have all that tons of acid, citric acid, and the enzymes. The enzymes that you get in what is it? It's not cantaloupe. The yellow one, the pineapple. The enzymes in that, they're nasty. They're like your tongue and your gums will hurt after because the enzymes are like they're digestive enzymes. I think they're basically acid based enzymes, so they're like acid. So it's nasty. But anyway, it's pretty cool diet. I will talk about it more in the future, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, if you want to go raw, eat fruit. But you got to be careful. Just have meals of it. Don't sip on it all day, because sipping on it or like just slowly munching on acidic fruit all day will be bad for your teeth. Also, I heard dried fruit can be bad for your teeth too because it kind of sticks to your teeth, right? So if you want to be cautious about your teeth, don't eat dried fruit. Even blending the fruit, it helps too because you just drink it back. It's like you're not chewing it all day. Anyway, that's all for now. Like and subscribe if you got anything good out of this, and I'll see you later. Bye. Cheers.